Korea threatens a response to U.S. flying long-range bombers. Details of this and more will be coming ahead. And from Enugu, Nigeria to the rest of the world, good afternoon and welcome to Afia TV News Today. My name is Alex Obodo. Details shortly. News in Enugu, where the state governor, Dr. Peter Mbah, has paid a condolence visit to the widow and family of former Nigerian international and coach Christian Chukwu, assuring them that they were not standing alone. Dr. Mbah, who was out of the country attending the Commonwealth Trade and Investment Summit in London at the time of Chukwu's death, assured that the deceased would be immortalized. He described the late footballer, popularly known as Chairman, as a legend who served his country unreservedly and inspired millions of youths, saying the government and the people of Enugu, his home state, were thoroughly devastated by his death. The governor also prayed for the peaceful repose of Chukwu's soul and for fortitude on the part of his family to bear the irreparable loss. And amid the ongoing contention over the Okunere Adoration Ground, Reverend Father Professor Paul Obayi has announced his decision to relinquish the disputed land, choosing to focus on the growth and development of his ministry. Afia TV's Elijah Akuma brings us the details from Nsukka.
The Okunere Adoration Ministry in Nsukka has been the subject of controversy in recent times, centering on a dispute over land ownership. However, the ministry's leader, Reverend Father Professor Paul Obayi, is now taking a decisive step to move forward.
Definitely, because they are worldly, the word and the spirit do not go in one direction. So it was as a result of that distraction that I decided on Sunday to push aside everything and then move on, because this is Holy Week. I need to be holier in body, spirit, and soul. Noima, Suma, and everything about me. So with that, there is a distraction, a lot of distractions. No. I have a lot of, I'm so much engaged, both for spiritual, academic, and social activities. So that's why one thing should go and occupy me.
The contention over this land has been a major distraction for the Okunere Adoration Ministry. But today, Reverend Father Professor Paul Obayi has made a clear statement. His focus is on the people, the ministry, and its future.
Cannot concentrate. So, even few days left to conclude it, and I want to make good use of it. Yeah, thank you very much. That's how I intend to do it. To do the battle, to concentrate, is to shift aside what we call in philosophy epoche, yes, bracket off. Yeah, I mean, that's what Jacob did. Go to the scripture.
Father Obayi emphasized his commitment to his calling, highlighting his dedication to education and spiritual leadership.
The voice about the area you are going, I have already at zone. They are dragging me. What happened? I said, gentlemen, it is all over. And so I'm moving forward. And I dropped it in order to move forward, not to be distracted.
As a result of this decision, Father Obayi says he is relocating the ministry to the other part of the adoration ground.
So that's why it's a matter of conscience. It's only my conscience that led me to act the way I did, so that I won't have any squabble with anybody. The land was there before I was born. The land will remain there.
Father Obayi's decision to relinquish the disputed land signals a new chapter for the Okunere Adoration Ministry. This new chapter will be focused on the ministry and spiritual growth. As matters unfold, we will keep you informed. In Nsukka, Elijah Akuma, reporting for Afia TV.
Thank you, Elijah. In a separate development, Governor Hope Uzodinma of Imo State recently accused his predecessors of wrecking the state's economy and causing debt accumulation of 292 billion naira for his administration. He has also faulted them for insecurity from 2020, which he described as politically contrived. alleging that election losers in collusion with groups like IPOB and ESN sought to destabilize the state to justify a state of emergency.
Imo State Governor Hope Uzodinma, in a recent interview, accused his predecessors of leaving a debt of 292 billion naira for his administration due to excessive loans. He claimed that he met the state's economy at a bad state at the onset of his first tenure in 2020, which had hindered him from securing adequate funding for his projects. He went further to state that the insecurity in the state was largely fueled by politicians who had lost in elections and desired to cause anarchy. Reacting to this claim, Stephen, a businessman in Owerri, insists that the present administration is to be blamed for the state of insecurity.
As the governor of Imo State, he's the chief security, so he should be able to know what the insecurity is all about, except he's not telling us the truth. But the fact remains that as far as security is concerned, he's the chief security of Imo State. So telling us that who are the political gladiators, he should be able to open up and tell us who are the political gladiators that are making Imo State to be insecure.
Other residents, including an anonymous speaker, shared the same opinion.
No, it's caused by them, the government themselves. They are the one. They are the problem of the society.
Umuchime na Amanso Autonomous Community Osaibeku in Umuahia North Local Government Area of Abia State. Erosion has eaten deep into the land, cutting off the only access road and leaving residents isolated. The once peaceful rural path has now become a dangerous gully, and the community is crying out for urgent help. Our correspondent, Chibikem Agumba, now reports.
In a tucked-away corner of Osaibeku lies Umuchime na Amanso Autonomous Community, a place where time seems to pause and nature now tells a story of neglect. This is no longer just a road. It is a path swallowed by erosion, cutting off the community and pushing residents to the edge. And it doesn't stop at the road. At the King's Palace, erosion has already made its way the compound, threatening not just the people, but their traditional seats of authority. Speaking to Afia TV, Chief Omukwe, a council member, narrates what led to the total decay of the road.
Really, you've said it all. This thing started some 3-5 years ago. There was a company that started that road, but at a point, after digging the gutters and all the rest, they could not continue with the job. They abandoned it. And that brought about backloss of the flood up there from the main road. That informed what you see there. Any day the rain falls, it's a sorry for this community.
Mrs. Obonna, who lives very close to the erosion site, speaks on how the road was a few years back.
So, had taken a correction, she ever had a book, I go here. Happy she was Wagota. So I got a how I know that. Yes, Mina Moral, Gawazia, Buruzia, I got a hand.
She continues to believe that God will send help, despite living so close to the erosion site. Residents say 2 lives have already been lost.
Even all at least a so many Abeba, the whole step from Eziama, Umori, Umbaja, the whole Russian Division Abeba, all the Yandimariso, all the memories of Madania Fellows.
In all, the residents are pleading for government intervention.
Government intervention come to our rescue because that erosion there taking over so many of our land and houses. So if government can come to our rescue and do something about it, we'll be happy.
With every rainfall, the road gives way further. And with every passing day, the people wait, hoping someone will hear their cry. In Umuchime na Amanso Autonomous Community, the erosion speaks louder than words. But the residents still believe their voices can reach the government in time. In Osaibeku, Chibuikem Agwamba, reporting for Afia TV.
Thank you, Chibuikem. We hope that the government responds and actually intervenes in that erosion site. Still on the regional news, stakeholders in the health sector have called on Governor Alex Otti to prioritize adequate funding for HIV/AIDS response in Abia State as part of the 2025-2027 Strategic Development Plan. Declaring the event open, Abia State Commissioner for Health, Professor Enoch Uche, hailed the initiative as a timely and forward-thinking step towards strengthening the state's healthcare system and mitigating the impact of HIV/AIDS. He noted that the 2025-2027 plan will be driven by data, innovation, and cross-sectoral collaboration. In a communique issued at the end of the meeting, participants emphasized that sufficient funding is critical to sustaining the state's HIV response efforts, especially in the light of international funding gaps caused by recent U.S. policy shifts under former President Donald Trump. The stakeholders also urged full implementation of the legal frameworks embedded in the new strategic plan, stressing the need for both executive and legislative action to ensure effective execution. They called for an increase in human resources to drive the goal of the strategic plan. It's time for a break here on the news today. When we return, we'll have stories from the National Front. Stay with us.
So you're wondering what the Brand Wars is about? Come, let me tell you. The Brand Wars is a reality TV business game show. From business-themed games to business-themed tasks, the Brand Wars seeks to solve real-life branding challenges. Shh! Are you aware that 25 million naira worth of prizes are up for grabs? This includes 10 million naira cash, free business advertisements on DSTV and GoTV for 30 days, and an all-expense paid weekend getaway at the landmark Nike Lake Resort. Oh, by the way, registration and voting is open. And it's just, hold on, 100 naira only. To register and vote, visit www.fonzieweb.com/brandwars or download the Fonzie app on Google Play or iOS stores now. For inquiries, call 09155334949. Now that you know, what are you waiting for? Register now. Proudly brought to you by Fonzie and Landmark Africa Group, season sponsors, and supported by Afia TV, Afia 99.3 FM, Market Studio, Zoe Multimedia Studios, and Obalende, Enugu.
Afia TV News today, reaching you live from Enugu, Southeast Nigeria. My name is Alex Obodo. President Bola Tinubu has inaugurated a high-level committee to kickstart the process of the counting and enumerating of Nigerian citizenry and housing. The committee will submit an interim report within 3 weeks, after which an initial report will be prepared to establish the specific date for Nigeria's forthcoming census exercise. While inaugurating the committee at the State House in Abuja on Wednesday, the President, represented by his Chief of Staff, Right Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, emphasized that the national assignment is aimed at ensuring an accurate population count that will serve as a foundation for national development. President Tinubu, recalling that Nigeria's last conducted a population census nearly 20 years ago in 2006, highlighted the critical role of the upcoming exercise. On his part, the Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, Senator Atiku Bagudu, who chairs the Presidential Committee on Population and Housing Census, assured the President that the committee will deliver its report within the 3-week deadline. In another development, the federal government has taken proactive steps to prevent flooding through strategic measures to enhance disaster preparedness and risk management across the country. These steps are being taken by the government at the center as the rainy season sets in, with its attendant torrential downpours. Flowing from this, Vice President Kashim Shettima on Wednesday launched Nigeria's Anticipatory Action Framework, designed to shift disaster management from reactive responses to proactive preparedness by leveraging early warnings, local empowerment, and pre-arranged financing to save lives and livelihoods. Speaking during a framework validation workshop held at the National Counter-Terrorism Center, Office of the National Security Advisor in Abuja, Vice President Shettima described the framework as a timely intervention to confront the rising threats of climate-induced disasters such as floods, which affected over 5 million Nigerians in 2024. The Speaker of the House of Representatives, Honorable Tajuddin Abbas, has called on the European Union (EU) to step up its multilateral and bilateral cooperation with African countries. Speaker Abbas made the call in Abuja when the EU ambassador to Nigeria and the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, Ambassador Goutua Mignor, visited him. He urged the EU to take the opportunity of the withdrawal of aids to other countries by the Donald Trump administration to do more for African countries beyond election monitoring and security trainings. Earlier, the ECOWAS Ambassador Goutua Mignor noted that Nigeria is a key partner to the EU, not only for the future, but for the present, especially with the recent developments in the US under Donald Trump. To business stories now. Civil society organizations are calling for an urgent investigation into the $1.5 billion investment in Port Harcourt refinery by the immediate past group chief executive officer of the Nigeria National Petroleum Company Limited, NPCL, Mele Kyari. They describe the stalled project as a betrayal of the Nigerian dream and insist that the economic hemorrhaging caused by repeated failed investments in public refineries must stop. The coalition Situation Room on Transparency and Accountability, led by its convener, Michael Omoba, made the call at a news conference in Abuja on Wednesday. Omoba said that Nigerians were made to believe that the funds allocated by the Muhammadu Buhari-led administration in 2021 were meant for a comprehensive rehabilitation of 2 refineries, but were spent only on the Port Harcourt refinery. According to him, that such a colossal sum was spent with no concrete outcome and accountability, and that it says a lot about the Kyari-led administration. The group called for an immediate constitution of a special commission of inquiry to investigate the full financial activities of the NNPCL in the last 5 years under the Kyari's leadership.
Our attention to the previous mentioned staggering sum of $1.5 billion earmarked for the rehabilitation of the Nigerian refinery, indeed, by Nigerians. We made to believe that these funds allocated to Buhari-led administration in 2021 was meant for a comprehensive rehabilitation. However, shockingly, and to the chagrin of the public, not only was these funds entirely expended on just one refinery, but the said refinery turned out to be non-functional, failing to meet the last functional or industrial standard that was expected of such an investment. Indeed, such physical mismanagement would have been the subject of a rigorous criminal investigation involving every national and international parties involved in the debacle. The gross mismanagement of funds in oil and gas sector over the past 5 years have stifled Nigerians' economic and infrastructural development, impoverished citizens who have been making their tax contributions, and sabotage sustainability, with millions of Nigerians currently experiencing multidimensional poverty. Every budgeted and spent dollar largely counts. However, the existence of a continued silence on the financial atrocities committed under Kyari's leadership has been a bad signal to the international community that Nigeria tolerates economic malfeasance. It is a placard example of what erodes investors' confidence and invites speculative capital rather than stable foreign direct investment, FDI.
In other news, The House of Representatives has ordered financial technology firm Remita, also known as System Specs Limited, to refund a total of over 182 billion naira withheld from Treasury Single Account CSA since 2015 to the federal government, following a forensic audit that uncovered significant financial discrepancies. The directive was issued by the Public Accounts Committee of the House during a plenary or during hearing, following the submission of an investigative report by a consulting firm. The chairman of the committee, Bamidele Salam, stated that the resolution was based on evidence submitted by the consultant, as well as documents provided by System Specs and Remita and other stakeholders within the Treasury Single Account ecosystem. The committee also noted that some deposit money banks have already complied with similar repayment orders. We'll take a break. When we return, we'll have more business stories. Stay with us.
Here is exciting news.
Registration for the Brand Wars Business Game Show has been extended to May 11th, 2025.
Are you ready to take your business to the next level and win 25 million Naira worth of prizes?
Whether you're a seasoned business mogul or an aspiring game changer, Brand Wars is your stage to shine.
To register for 100 Naira only, download the Funzy app on Google Play and iOS stores. Funzy is spelt as F-U-N-Z. Fill in your data and verify your email. Upload a 30-second video stating why you want to compete. Then get your friends to vote for you.
Hurry, the clock is ticking. For inquiries, call, send SMS or WhatsApp message to 091-5533-4949. That is 091-5533-4949. You've got until May 11th to secure your spot and be part of the action. Brand Wars, where business meets battle.
Proudly brought to you by Funzy in Landmark Nikkei Resort, season sponsors, and supported by Afia TV, Afia 99.3 FM, Market Studios, Zoe Multimedia Studios, and Obalende Enugu.
To Afia TV News today, reaching you live from Enugu, Southeast Nigeria. My name is Alex Obodo. We continue now with business stories, but outside of the country, the European Union has expressed interest in expanding trade and investment in Nigeria's solid mineral sector. European Ambassador to Nigeria and ECOWAS, Gyota Mignor, stated this during a courtesy visit to the Minister of Solid Minerals Development, Dr. Dele Alake. Ambassador Mignor commended ongoing efforts to reposition Nigeria's mining sector, noting that the EU delegation seeks to better understand the industry and explore areas of mutual interest and collaboration. Responding, the Minister of Solid Minerals Development, Dr. Dele Alake, emphasized Nigeria's readiness to engage with EU member states and investors to unlock the vast potential of our solid minerals for shared prosperity. On the foreign scene, China is set to transform its education sector by integrating artificial intelligence, AI, into teaching methods, school curricula, and textbooks across all levels of learning. According to a government white paper released on Wednesday, the Chinese Ministry of Education stated that AI integration would not only modernize classrooms, but also develop students' and teachers' core competencies, ranging from independent thinking and problem solving to effective communication and collaboration. Officials believe AI's role in classrooms will create more dynamic, interactive, and challenging learning environments, preparing students to meet the demands of a rapidly evolving global economy. Meanwhile, the move is part of the country's broader push to enhance innovation and secure new engines of economic growth. Democratic U.S. Senator Chris Van Hollen said authorities in El Salvador have denied him access to Kilmer Abrego Garcia, the Salvadorian man mistakenly deported and being held in a notorious prison in the country. Van Hollen arrived in the Central American nation on Wednesday, explained that he would seek to meet with senior Salvadorian officials to secure Abrego Garcia's release. But Van Hollen told reporters El Salvador's Vice President Felix Ulloa had told the senator he could not authorize a visit or a call with Abrego Garcia. Van Hollen, who is a member of the U.S. Senate Foreign Relations Committee, noted that Ulloa, who also told him El Salvador was not releasing Abrego Garcia because the United States was paying to keep him incarcerated. And finally, on the international scene, North Korea has threatened unspecified retaliation after the U.S. flew long-range bombers over South Korea during training with South Korean warplanes, which North Korea views as a practice for an attack against it. Recall that the U.S. flew the B-1B bombers on Tuesday to train with other U.S. and South Korean fighter jets. South Korea's defense ministry has explained that the drill was meant to show the two countries' combined deterrence capability against North Korea's advancing nuclear program. Meanwhile, the U.S. and South Korea routinely held joint military exercises that are described as defensive in nature. But North Korea is particularly sensitive to the U.S. mobilization of strategic assets such as long-range bombers, aircraft carriers, and nuclear-powered submarines. To sports news now, there was a major heartbreak as Abakaliki FC stormed Giants Enyimba FC with a 2-0 victory to book their quarter-final ticket in the 2025 Presidential Cup. Meanwhile, Rangers International continued their fine form with a narrow 1-0 win over defending champions Bendel Insurance, while Aqua United edged past Inter of Lagos thanks to a solitary strike in a tightly contested match. Ikorodu City proved too strong for Beyond Limits, cruising to a 2-0 win, while Warri Wolves and Wiki Tourists delivered a thrilling 1-1 draw that was decided via penalties, with Wiki advancing 4-3 in the shootout. Elsewhere, Plateau United overcame a resilient Osun United 2-1, while Nasarawa United held their nerves to defeat Bayelsa United 5-4 on penalties after a 1-1 draw on regulation time. And lastly, in sports news, newcomers Benue Queens recorded their first ever win in the 2024-2025 Nigeria Women Football League season, following a hard-fought 1-0 victory over Ibom Angels in Lafia on Wednesday. In Benin City, reigning champions Edo Queens extended their unbeaten streak with a dominant 3-1 win against Dana Ladies at the Samuel Ogbemudia Stadium. Bayelsa Queens also maintained their unbeaten record, playing out a 1-1 draw with Adamawa Queens in Numan. Elsewhere, Abia Angels secured the only away win of the round thanks to returning Super Falcons goalkeeper Christiana Obia in Owerri. Remo Stars ladies were held to a 1-1 draw by Heartland Queens. We'll take a break and we'll be right back.
What are your thoughts on the spate of sex for grades in Nigerian universities?
This very issue of owing salary should be criminalized.
How can they amplify their voices?
People don't have evidence.
You want to get to know about it? Have to stay tuned right here on Afia Morning Show to get the pulse and the feel of that.
Hey ladies, join us on Gyna Plus every Wednesday at 6 p.m. right here on Afia TV, DSTV channel 254 and GoTV channel 17, where we will delve into health issues affecting girls and women in society.
Breastfeeding doesn't even cause breastfeeding. The frequency of breastfeeding means the approach you take to make sure that your well-being is maintained.
Welcome to the latest and most amazing show on here, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Lunch Break.
You don't sing along.
I did sing for real.
You're not a backup singer.
That's what they do. Time check, it's 2 p.m. and it's time for us to vibe, chill, and relax. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Lunch Break on Afia TV. So Lunch Break is all about the music, it's all about fun, it's all about entertainment, it's all about entertaining gossip and stories from social, it's all about the latest trends, it's about what's lit, it's all about the games with our guests, and yes, in general, I like to say it's all about the vibes and vibes only.
Good evening to you, viewer, and welcome to Women in Business, a show that profiles women, executives, and even the next door store owners, showcasing Igbo greatness to the world.
I started always obsessed with books ever since I was a child.
The stress of always converting naira to dollar and
an incompetent means an incompetent person.
What are your thoughts on the spate of sex for grades in Nigerian universities?
This very issue of owing salary should be criminalized.
How can they amplify their voices?
People don't have evidence.
You want to get to know about it? Have to stay tuned right here on Afia Morning Show to get the pulse and the feel of that.
Join us on Gyna Plus every Wednesday at 6 p.m. right here on Afia TV, DSTV channel 254 and GoTV channel 17, where we will delve into health issues affecting girls and women in society.
Breastfeeding doesn't even cause breastfeeding. The frequency of breastfeeding means the approach you take to make sure that your well-being is maintained.
Welcome to the latest and most amazing show on here, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Lunch Break.
You don't sing along.
I did sing for real.
You're not a backup singer.
That's what they do. Time check, it's 2 p.m. and it's time for us to vibe, chill, and relax. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Lunch Break on Afia TV. So Lunch Break is all about the music, it's all about fun, it's all about entertainment, it's all about entertaining gossip and stories from social, it's all about the latest trends, it's about what's lit, it's all about the games with our guests, and yes, in general, I like to say it's all about the vibes and vibes only.
Good evening to you, viewer, and welcome to Women in Business, a show that profiles women, executives, and even the next door store owners, showcasing Igbo greatness to the world.
I started always obsessed with books ever since I was a child.
The stress of always converting naira to dollar and
an incompetent means an incompetent person.
your thoughts on the spate of sex for grades in Nigerian universities?
This very issue of owing salary should be criminalized.
How can they amplify their voices?
People don't have evidence.
You want to get to know about it? Have to stay tuned right here on Afia Morning Show to get the pulse and the feel of that.
Join us on Gyno Plus every Wednesday at 6 p.m. right here on Afia TV, DSTV channel 254, and GoTV channel 17, where we will delve into health issues affecting girls and women in society.
Breastfeeding doesn't even cause breastfeeding. The frequency of breastfeeding means the approach you take to make sure that your well-being is maintained.
Welcome to the latest and most amazing show on here, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Lunch Break.
You don't sing along.
I did sing.
For real.
You're not a backup singer.
That's what they do.